Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we're doing a unboxing part 6. We've done a whole bunch of different ones. We're going to be looking at the Rhino from Poikilo Knives. They sent me 15 knives and I really appreciate them for that. Thank you. They have a lot of different knives there. I mean, there's something there for everyone and I'm checking them all out. Some I love, some I'm not a big fan of, but I can't deny everyone I've checked out so far are just phenomenally well done. So I'm sure Rhino's going to be another one, so let's take a look. All right, so today we're looking at the Rhino, another Poikilo knives. So let's get into this one here. All right, it is a Midtech. By the way, these cases are leather cases. Typically, when you get these new, you get a patch or something like on here. So you do get that. These are the knives that they were used at the blade shows, just so you know. This is Zircu-Ti. It sure looks like Damascus to me, but it's Zircu-Ti. So I'm assuming the darkness, it's considered Zircu-Ti because there's like some zirconium in there with the titanium. So I guess that's what we call Zircu-Ti. But this has an inlay where typically the clip would be. It has the clip and it has the backspacer. And you're like, how in the world does this come off? Well, in this case, there is a screw. I don't know if you can see that in there, and that releases it. And then I think it comes apart. I don't know. I'm not taking these apart. These are not my knives, so I don't take them apart. But again, this is a Midtech, and I will say it's done well. Now, some of these are just really weird. This is definitely, I would call this a Persian, a Tantojan, or a Persianto. Persianto? Can we call it a Persianto? Because it's like a tanto with a Persian blade. So I'm going to call it Persianto. Or we can call it Tanturjan. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. It's weird, but it's cool. It's different. Again, the clip I like. It's very flexible. It does have that high ramp there. I'm not a big fan of that because that really cinches up on your pants and is a pocket shredder. For those of you who are out there doing the tactical warrior, whatever, you're going to love it because your pants, it's not going to fall out. It's really close to the cutout of the lock bar, which to me always tends to be a pocket shredder. It gets cinched up, pulls up, and rips your pocket right there. So I always like it when they're a little away from that cutout. So just keep that in mind if you're concerned about your pants getting ripped up. You know, that's definitely going to be something you're going to be dealing with, right? I mean, it is very thin. It does go off to the side, so you're pretty clear, but it'll cinch up. Just you know, that's been my experience. Love the lock bar. It's a frame lock, as you can see, a flipper only. That's the only means of deployment. The jimping does go all the way out to the edge, which I do very much appreciate. Again, I love the backspacer. I think it's really nice. Even though it's very industrial, very, you know, whatever, the flipper is really nice. You can squeeze there. There's no hot spots. Yeah, this is a little sharp right there, I will say. This is the first one that really has a little point on there that I'm not a big fan of. This will dig into you. And because it's Zircu-Ti, you're not going to be able to polish that. You'll ruin the anodization. So for me, that will be a bummer. I would have to take it off, file it, and then re-anodize it myself to really make that useful. So just keep that in mind. If you don't mind sharp edges, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. This one also has one of the few that actually has a little sharp edge right here in the cutaway, which was kind of surprising. I was very surprised about that. Most every one of those, there's not a sharp edge, but you can definitely feel that. If you use this knife, this will cut you. You'll get a blister. It'll slice into you. So if you use hard use with this one, you will be cut with this. You're going to have to file that down yourself if you want to avoid that. I'm just telling you, that's just the reality of this knife. It's cool looking. If it's a collection piece, you're never going to use it, you're fine. You're fine. But if you're planning to use this, which feels like this would be a really good user, I would have to fix that. I would have to fix that, right? And then just the blade shape is just not my cup of tea. It is absolutely not my cup of tea. But you know what? I know a lot of you love this. You're going to love this. So that's totally fine. I review a knife, and I'm trying to take it at face value, the intended audience. Definitely not. I am not the intended audience of this blade shape and this design. But I'm still going to look at it and appreciate the quality of it. It is fantastic. M398 blade steel. I think they must have had 310 or somebody helped co-design it. I have no idea who that is. Poikilo again, beautiful polished. I would call this a stone washed polished blade shape. It's got a very slight chamfering, no sharp edges. The jimping here, absolutely useless. It's just aesthetic. Looks pretty, but it does nothing. Absolutely does nothing. You're not going to get any grip at all with glove or anything like that. So this is just purely for aesthetics. And if you like the aesthetics, cool. Absolutely cool. But don't expect it to give you any grip whatsoever, because it doesn't. The jimping up here on the flipper is fairly decent. Again, nice cutaway chamfering in here. It is a pretty stiff lock bar. I really wish they would consider cutting down here, getting a little better access for big meaty fingers. A lot of these knives work really great for skinny little fingers, and that's kind of a bummer. I feel like it takes some of us out of the picture. You can see the track mark right there. This is where the detent ball goes. It goes just outside it a little bit there. I'd say that I think this is an over travel stop. It's sort of like the over, because I think there's a steel bar insert. Don't know if there's an over travel stop. I have no idea taking this thing apart. It does have a little pin for your lanyard, so that certainly is there. Handle to blade ratio, it's okay. You gotta get an extra 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of extra sticking out, so it's gonna be a bigger scale than the blade, you know. But you know, for some people, they're gonna love this blade shape. They're gonna love this dual grind. It almost definitely a point right there, so it's definitely, to me, is a Tonto, right? I would definitely put that into the Tonto design. But it also has a Persian look, so that's why I want to call it a Perjanto or Tanjan. I don't know. Modified. You know, I keep wanting to come back to something witty, and it's just not coming to me. I will tell you, the jimping, ironically, the jimping on the back here is actually super functional. So if you're using this knife as like to cut through, like doing a cut, like you're cutting into wood, plastic, leather, whatever, you're working really hard, it's going to work great. Going forward, there's no jimping there, but you know, that jimping is very functional. I wish it was up here. It looks similar. This has no function whatsoever. There's no grip whatsoever. This works really well. Just, it's too bad it couldn't be over here. All right. The weight relief on here is fantastic again. And I love this Zircu-Ti, Damascus, whatever you want to call it, in a backspacer clip, and then this, I want to call it pivot covers, inlay. I don't know what you call it, because I have no idea how this works. I'm not going to take these apart. Definitely not the Midtechs. I don't want to screw them up, because I can't afford to replace these guys. And I already own 2, and I don't want to have to sell them just to pay off for one of these guys, right? Because Midtechs aren't cheap. They're definitely more expensive, and rightfully so. I feel like the quality, what you're getting here, is really worthwhile. To me, I feel like it's appropriate, right? This is definitely well over, I mean, we're looking $500-600 knife, and I think that's appropriate. I think it's very appropriate. This one might be a little more, I don't know, but very cool. Love the finish on here. Love the kind of a pseudo Tonto. Wish it wasn't quite Persian. Wish I wasn't all, you know, industrial kind of Russian sort of whatever looking thing. And so I think that's the appeal here. It's definitely going to appeal to someone of that, who likes that design. And so I know there's a bunch of you guys, you're going to love this. You just think this is the, you know, the knees bees, so to speak. And that's fair. It's fair, right? Not my cup of tea, but definitely out there for a lot of people. And that's the thing, when you do Midtech, you realize you're not going to make something everyone's going to love. You're just not. You're going to have to take a gamble, get something, and I think it's a beautiful gamble. I think the quality, the aesthetic, everything is beautiful. For if this floats your boat, you're going to love this. All right, so let's do a zoom in on this one. I think it's definitely worth taking a look. You see that beautiful polished, stonewash polished blade, nice wedge on top. You can see the Damascus Zircu-Ti pivot inlay collared cover. I don't know what you call it, right? You got the backspacer, looks like, you know, bacon Damascus. I don't know what you call that, but they call it Zircu-Ti. Just like this, they're very different. Obviously, this is stacked together and this is swirled together. And when you anodize, you get a very different pattern here than you get here. It's cool. I love to see the two patterns. I think it's nice. Definitely have a pivot pin. So if you're a big pivot, you know, lanyard fan, yay, lanyard people rejoice. They prioritize that lanyard big time on this knife, which is unfortunate to me. I would not have prioritized it. I kind of a bummer. I think you could have taken off a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, not worrying about that lanyard. My personal opinion, but you know, it's fine. Hidden hardware on the clip, I think is really nice. This is not as smooth and soft as some of the other ones. So it's a little surprising. I wonder if this is an older version. Maybe I'm dealing with a kind of older version. Good weight relief in there, frame lock, like I said. I think this is the over travel stop. There is a steel bar insert, so you're connecting that. I think our engagement here is a good 20-25%. Again, stiff frame lock. Very stiff frame lock. I would have to tune it, put skiffs in there, make it kind of more feasible if I was going to keep this. But that's just something you have to keep in mind, right? So let's zoom out here. We'll do a little picture, a little grab for our wonderful little thumbnail, if you will, for the picture. So I think it's pretty cool. Again, this is one of these that's going to appeal to you if you love the design. It's not my cup of tea, but I love checking these out. Here's my attitude on all of this. I can appreciate a knife that's well built, that works, that's functional. Even if it's an aesthetic I don't dig. I'm totally cool with that, right? The other thing is I think about when something like this happens, it leads to other designs that I will love, right? I think this has potential. I just don't, I'm not a Persian fan, but this sort of modified tanto I think is cool. This is definitely a little more appealing to me than that super thin, super pointy. If this had just a little straighter back, man, this would be just the bee's knees for me, right? And if we had a little more contoured over here, that would be nice. And a little, a little cutout on the lock bar, I think that would be cool. I can deal with a flipper only. I can, as long as we clear. So let's see, where's the detent? You clear the detent here. So you do, if it would be nice, if it was tuned where it would drop. Now, one thing I know some custom knife makers, they hate to see stuff like that, but I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. That's just that's the blade that's stopping here. And then when it comes back, the back up here where it engages, so right here underneath, this is where the tang of the blade is, where it engages with the lock bar. Underneath there, that's where it stops. So this is the open stop pin and the closed stop pin, right? So it does both. It does dual purpose, which is cool, I think. Again, this is you have to really shake it because it's pretty tight. And again, it had a lot of exposure. I don't know, maybe they tightened it up, put some Loctite, because a lot of people were handling this knife at the blade shows. I get it. It's super stiff for me. I would really, 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 really want to tune this, but yeah, I can't do that because it's not my knife. Again, I'm just grateful to get a chance to check them out. Again, I cannot argue with the fact that the quality is simply outstanding. It's definitely going to be, you're going to love it or you're not, right? And it's definitely unique, and I love the uniqueness because this leads to some of their other crazy, wonderful designs that I've seen already. The Orca, which is one I didn't get a chance to check out, and I really wanted to. I almost bought that, but it's so different that I just don't think I can buy it. But it's cool. Definitely would love to check it out one day. Maybe I'll see it at a blade show if they have one on display or something. But definitely really, really neat knife. Excuse me. So, titanium scales, frame lock, we already talked about that. A little sharp there on the clip. Hidden hardware, I like that. Backspacer's got great jimping here, just not up here. Flipper works really great. I love the fact that the flipper does have jimping all the way out to the edge, so that's nice for deployment. No issues there. You can even be a little top here and you still pre-catch it. Even if you put your finger here, you get that. So you get the light switch right there, and then you catch up on top. You can do a little push button. It works well too, right? So I think that's nice. Very, very cool little knife. Do think the Rhino has some potential. I think there's going to be a lot of you who are going to dig it. And I think if you're asking me, is it a quality knife? Is it well built? If this aesthetic just really draws you, I'd say go for it. Absolutely go for it. It's not one I would ever get for my collection. It's just really out there for me, right? But I will tell you, checking more and more stuff like this out, it has opened up my eyes and my ability to consider other types of knives that I would normally not consider. So I think that's pretty cool. So I just throw that out there at you. So that's why I love checking stuff like this out. I think I'm going to do, like I said with the other knife, I'm definitely going to group some of these reviews together because I kind of have some aesthetics that I'll agree on some of these knives and feel very similarly. I'll have the similar mindset and similar interpretation of the knife, right, and the feelings about it. I can't argue these are done well. For my first impressions are like, this is just really, really well done. Is this one for me? Nah. I mean, my first impression is telling me no. But, we'll handle it a little bit, and we'll do the review and get this knife on to the next people. But I will say, as I said with all the other ones, there is something here for everyone. There's absolutely something here for everyone. And I cannot argue the ones I've handled. Every one so far has been well made. Absolutely 100% well made. And so whether you agree with my aesthetics or not, that's fine. Right? If you disagree with my aesthetics and you love it, go for it, man. I think it's a great knife. I think you can't go wrong. I think you'll be very, very happy, right? You don't have to agree with my aesthetics. You don't have to agree with what I like. We all can buy what we love and what we like. There's knives I own in my collection. I am absolutely certain that not everyone out there is going to say, oh, I think every one of those is a fantastic knife. You're going to think, why does he have that? That's ridiculous. That's ugly. It's fair. It's fair, right? It's my collection. just like it's your collection, right? And again, I appreciate getting a chance to check these out. I think every one of these is fantastic, but I'm going to give you my honest interpretation. The Midtech is absolutely done well. I wish they did a Gecko Midtech, because I would so consider that. The Gecko Midtech would have been just phenomenal. So anyways, very cool. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or entertaining, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the channel really helps me out. It allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, who enjoys the content, who's part of the channel. Man, I appreciate you guys so very much. I really do. If you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, but then also hit the notification button so you can be notified of future content like to this video and other videos that I produce. I really appreciate that. Also, a big shout out to my channel members. You guys do two amazing things. You encourage me like a workout buddy. I love doing this, and I appreciate you guys reminding me why I love this. And it's just nice to have somebody there to encourage me to continue to allow me to do this, because I don't do this full time. I'm part-time. So yeah, you're very much encouraging me. The other thing you do is, because of your generosity of your memberships, you allow me to do things way sooner than I thought I could. For instance, I get to check out knives, cover the cost of shipping, like these knives and other knives that people loan me. I am humbled and grateful for that. Thank you. The other thing you allow me to do is I do once a week, weekly giveaways with a budget banger, so everyone has a chance to win a knife. And then those are things that you guys help me, along with so many other things. So I just want to say thank you. And as a result of that, I do two things exclusively for channel members. I do once a month members exclusive giveaway, definitely a step up from the budget banger, and it'll be after we do the budget banger giveaway, then we'll do the members giveaway, usually at $100 to $300 in a prize, something really cool. Hopefully you enjoy winning or giveaway. So that's, to my channel members, a small way for me to say thank you, right? The other thing I do is also I'd love to give all brand new channel members a sticker, channel sticker, and a little thank you note. So if you're a brand new channel member, you haven't asked me for a channel sticker, never received a channel sticker, email me with your name and address, and I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a little thank you note and say thank you for being a member. That is one of those things I would love to do. So here's the thing. As long as you're actively currently a member, you've never gotten a channel sticker, you never asked for a channel sticker, you want a channel sticker, brand new member, maybe you've been a member all along, maybe you were a member, became a member again, whatever's fine. Any of those apply, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker. It's my small way to say thank you. All right. Well, if you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week.